Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Charlene and today I'm going to be doing a series review. So this is one of the things I was wanting to do on my channel, and that is each time I finish a series, I review the entire series for you. So the series I'm going to be reviewing for you today is The Whispers on the Moors Trilogy by Sarah E. Ladd. The first book in the series is The Heiress of Winterwood. The second is The Headmistress of Rosemere. And the third is A Lady at Willowgrove Hall. So I'm going to be talking about the series as a whole. I will talk about the books individually, and I will be ranking the books from worst to best in my personal opinion. So to start with, let's just talk about the series itself. So The Whispers on the Moors Trilogy is, for the most part, a companion Christian historical fiction series. And each book follows two different characters. So there is a male and female main character in each book, and they're different for each book. Now, technically these books could be read in any order, although I would argue that you really should read The Heiress of Winterwood before The Headmistress of Rosemere. I don't feel like it really matters as much where you read A Lady at Willowgrove Hall, if you read that one first, second, or third. But because of the main male character in the second book, I feel like you need to read the first book, The Heiress of Winterwood, first. So that's my personal opinion, but I feel like that would be the best way to read it. Now, as a series as a whole, I really enjoyed it. These are really good books. I really like the characters. I do like the faith content that's in the books and all of that. It's definitely not a hit you over the head with it, and I can say for sure in the first and third book. I don't remember in the second book quite so much, at least with the female main character. But in the first and third books, the female main character is very much, I was raised Christian, but I'm not sure how much I believe, and I'm not sure how strong my faith really is. And I don't remember how much it really comes up with the main male characters. I'm pretty sure in the first book it does. I don't feel like it comes up as much in the third book with the main male character. And the second book I don't remember at all. But I think there's kind of a reason I don't remember the second book as well. So let's just go ahead and get into the individual books. So the first book, like I said, is The Heiress of Winterwood. And in this one, we are following Amelia Barrett and Graham Sterling. And Amelia Barrett was really good friends with Graham Sterling's wife. But unfortunately, she ended up dying soon after her child was born. She asked Amelia to make sure her child was taken care of, and so Amelia has been taking care of her daughter Lucy for about 9 months. Graham, her friend's husband, was away at sea. He's a captain in the Navy. He was, I can't remember. I feel like it's somewhere over around Canada is where he was at, but I can't remember the exact place now. But he was away at sea when his wife gave birth, and so he didn't find out about her death for a few months, and then it took 9 months after his daughter was born for him to be able to make it back home. So during this time, Amelia's been raising his daughter. However, when he comes home, he figures he's going to need to find someone who can take care of his daughter while he's away at sea. And Amelia is betrothed to Edward, but she has inherited, to an extent, she has inherited her father's estate of Winterwood. However, because she is a woman, her uncle is technically running the place at the moment, and it will be hers when she gets married, but technically it will be her husband running it. And she's starting to have second thoughts about Edward. And so not overly sure about this marriage that she is potentially going to end up in, loving Lucy and wanting to see her taken care of, and knowing that she's been taking care of her for this long and she could just continue to do so. And Graham needing someone to take care of his daughter while he's away at sea, she decides what would make the most sense would be for the two of them to get married. This is purely a business proposal as far as she's concerned. He needs someone to take care of his daughter. She wants to take care of the daughter, and she wants to be able to run Winterwood the way her father ran it, not the way that Edward is wanting to run it. Also, Edward is wanting to, whether Graham has someone to take care of his daughter or not, is wanting to kick Lucy out of the house as soon as they're married. And so she proposes this to Graham. And this is not a marriage of convenience. This is a proposal of convenience, because the rest of the book is the two of them deciding, is this what they want to do or not? Do they want to get married or not? And I really enjoyed this book. It is a Regency romance. The book begins in 1814. And I loved the characters. I loved the fact that they took the time to get to know each other and really decide, is this a good idea? Is this the route we should go? Also, is this what's best for Lucy? I just really enjoyed this book. And apparently it does something at the end that I guess is common in either Christian historical fiction or Christian contemporary fiction. I'm not sure if it's one or the other or both. This was the first book I saw it done in, so I actually really enjoyed it, but I guess it's something that other people might not. But I thoroughly enjoyed this book. And like I said, Amelia is kind of iffy about her faith, on what she believes, how strong her faith is, and all of that. I feel like Graham is less unsure, but I don't remember for sure what the book said as far as his faith. All right, and then the second book is The Headmistress of Rosemere, which follows Patience Creighton, who is, oh gosh, trying to think of how to explain this. Patience is, I believe, the sister of the current headmaster of Rosemere. Her father ran it for years. After her father died, her mother became very ill, and her brother technically runs the school, but he's away a lot in London on business. So she's mostly running the school. She just doesn't actually have the title of headmistress. But the main male character in this book is Graham Sterling's brother. So the main male character from the first book, it's his brother in this one. Graham is the younger of the two brothers. So his older brother runs the estate, and the school is basically they're tenants of the Sterling estate. The school is on the estate's grounds. So he doesn't run the school, but he does have some authority over the school because of the fact that they pay rent to him. Now, the issue that I had with this book is William Sterling is a character in the first book that you do not like at all. So in this book, this is kind of his redemption story. However, for me, I felt like if the books had been ordered differently, if A Lady at Willowgrove Hall had been the second book, and this had been the third, and in the second book, we see William Sterling start to show some changes, start to show that maybe he's becoming a different person. And then in this book, we see more of that. I think it would have worked better. But coming into this book, not liking William at all, and then having this whole book be his redemption story, and most of it being him doing better, it just felt like a very rushed redemption story. So that was the one aspect of the book that I wasn't a fan of, and I think that's why I don't remember as much about the faith content in this book. I feel like the main female character has a fairly strong faith, if I remember correctly. William, I don't remember. I would almost guess that his goes from almost no faith to he actually has a fairly strong faith, but again, I don't remember for sure. And I think a lot of it is because I liked that he got a redemption story. I just didn't like how fast it happened. And so I think there are just things about this book that I just didn't end up remembering as well, because I didn't enjoy it as much and I didn't try to remember as much. However, Other than his redemption story, this was a really good book. I loved Patience's story. And I did like the romance between the two, but I would have enjoyed it more if I liked William better in this book. It's not a bad book, but I did not enjoy it quite as much as The Heiress of Winterwood. However, we then have A Lady at Willowgrove Hall. And in this book, we have Cicely Fair, who is the daughter of a blacksmith and a seamstress. Her mother passed away when she was young. Her father became an alcoholic and he can be abusive. And she was planning to run away with the son of the noble family who owned the estate that they were tenants of. And her father ended up finding out about it and he sent her away to Rosemere, the school for girls. Then the book jumps ahead 5 years later and she finds out about a position to be a companion to an elderly noblewoman and ends up accepting the position. But there is a man on the estate named Nathaniel Stanton, who is the illegitimate son of the elderly woman's late husband. And as far as we're aware at the beginning of the book, the only people who know about it who are still living is the elderly woman named Mrs. Trent, Nathaniel, and his mother. And so Cicely is hoping for a fresh start where hopefully she won't have to worry about her past. But unfortunately, someone from her past ends up being related to Mrs. Trent, and so she has to kind of come face to face with that. And Nathaniel is hiding his parentage so as not to bring shame to his mother and his sisters. So they're both dealing with, we have secrets from our past that we don't want to tell other people, but if we ever want to end up with somebody else, we're going to have to reveal that secret, and who are we willing to do that for? So I really enjoyed this book. It's definitely a book about secrets and how secrets can eat away at you. It's also a story of forgiveness, and I really enjoyed this book. Cicely in this one, as far as her faith, she very much feels like she's kind of wavering. She believed as a child, but then after her mother passed, she just didn't spend a lot of time reading her Bible. And she even says when her father became abusive towards her and rejected her, that she felt like God rejected her as well. And so part of this book is her trying to come to terms with, how does God actually see her? And does she still hold on to that faith that her mother had? Nathaniel, I don't feel like his faith really comes up much, but mostly he's a steward of the Willowgrove estate. He has a lot of work to do and he takes care of his mom and sisters, so it may just be that it doesn't really come up in this book because it's not an issue, but it does come up with Cicely, and I did like the way it was woven into the story. All right, so you probably already have an idea from the way I talked about the books, but let's go ahead and rank them. So of the three, my least favorite was The Headmistress of Rosemere, which probably comes as no surprise considering what I said about it. But again, it's still a good book. It was really the redemption story that brought it down for me because it happened just a little too fast for me. Then we have these two, and I have to figure out how I'm going to order them. I think I'm probably going to put A Lady at Willowgrove Hall second. Again, not because it was a bad book. I did really enjoy it, but I think I enjoyed The Heiress of Winterwood just a little bit more, and it probably is more because of the relationship itself in this book, or the romance in this book, because since the proposal was put out there early on, that's what the characters are contemplating the entire time. Is this somebody that I could go ahead and marry? Is this an arrangement I'm okay with? And then trying to figure out, do I actually have feelings for this person beyond just a business proposal? So I did. I just really liked this book a lot. So I think my final ranking is going to be this order. Headmistress was my favorite, followed closely by A Lady at Willowgrove Hall, and then The Headmistress of Rosemere. So I will now put the books back in order. So if you have read this series, please let me know what you thought about it. Which book did you like the best? And if you have any other thoughts on the books in this series, please let me know that as well. And as always, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you later.